From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Canada is now dealing with 35% tariffs after U.S. President Donald Trump followed through on a threat to increase duties if Ottawa didn't make a trade deal by last night's deadline. So the tariffs took effect just after midnight and follow Trump's signing of an executive order yesterday to implement the increased levies. Prime Minister Mark Carney released a statement just after the tariff hike took effect, warning that some Canadian industries may have a harder time than others, but that the federal government will try to minimize the impact and protect jobs from coast to coast. And it's not just Canada. The White House is hailing what it calls a new system of trade after U.S. President Donald Trump finalized the tariffs on nearly 70 countries.
Asked whether he's concerned about tariffs raising prices for American consumers, Trump saying, quote, the only price that spiked is the hundreds of billions of dollars coming in. The Federal Reserve Chairman was more skeptical this week.
Higher tariffs have begun to show through more clearly to prices of some goods, but their overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen.
Just this week, Apple said it expects to pay more than $1 billion in tariffs next quarter, and Ford predicts its tariff bill will reach $2 billion. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
A new study by Alberta government scientists suggests the province's regulations meant to keep old coal mines from polluting streams and lakes are instead failing. In a study of data from water bodies around 3 long-defunct coal mines near Jasper National Park, elevated levels of pollutants were found. The kind, the researchers say, that can have a devastating impact on aquatic ecosystems. Co-author Bill Donahue says the paper speaks to what he calls regulatory inaction.
The big lie is that Albertans seem to think that the regulator is going to look at what's submitted, and if those promises and requirements at approval aren't met, then the company's going to have to fix it. Well, here's the paper that says that's not true.
Alberta's energy regulator says it's reviewing the document. A critical funding loss has struck for one Northern Ontario sleepaway summer camp that specializes in welcoming LGBTQ+ youth. Harry Stewart, one of Rainbow Camp's founders, says the faltering financial support comes at a time when they are seeing a surge in demand from campers. Stewart says many campers who attend the summer refuge have faced extreme bullying and live in rural communities where they feel isolated or unsupported when it comes to embracing their identities. However, he says the camp is at risk of closing if it does not reach its $100,000 fundraising goal by the end of the summer. And finally, the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv is observing an official day of mourning, a day after a Russian drone and missile attack on the city killed 31 people, including 5 children, and injured more than 150. The youngest victim in Thursday's strikes was just 2 years old, and 16 of the injured were children. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, starting off in the CFL, where the Ottawa Redblacks snapped a 4-game losing streak with a hard-fought 31-11 win over the Calgary Stampeders. Ottawa QB Drew Brown tossed for 275 yards and 2 touchdowns in what would be the team's first win of the season at the home stadium of TD Place. Over to the Diamond now, where the Toronto Blue Jays made some moves at the MLB trade deadline. The 2 big names the team picked up, starting pitcher Shane Bieber, who is nearing his return from Tommy John surgery, as well as relief pitcher Louis Varland. Elsewhere, all-star shortstop Carlos Correa is reuniting with the Houston Astros. In tennis action, Toronto's Victoria Mboko is moving on to the 4th round of the National Bank Open. The 18-year-old overcame a 1-set deficit to defeat world number 39 Marie Buzkova at IGA Stadium in Montreal. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.